Every Tuesday, you can get yourself a copy of our newspaper, iDiskiTV, for absolutely free. Every shop right in the Gauteng province, you just go there, get yourself the paper. And on Fridays, the paper will be available across the nation on our website, idiskitimes.co.za. iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. Kaizer Chiefs 3, Stellenbosch 1, or the other way around, Stellenbosch 1, Kaizer Chiefs 3. DSTV Premiership in Cape Town, my old stomping ground. Congratulations, Kaizer Chiefs. Congratulations to Caleb Bimenyimana. The Black Panther was being accused not so long ago of being a musician by Orlando Pirates' highest ever goal scorer in the history of the Premier Soccer League. So, Vilakazi, thank you very much for joining us, sir. Thoughts, please.
Mr. Kevin,
yes, sir.
Bullies a bit of bullies justice. Bullies Drake and Bullies Uchuna, Bullies Machaka, and Bullies and Anamaka, and support the Jala like iDiskiTV. So, Banjo be like chicken food. Mr. Kevin.
I think we are born in Sugo Taxi and DJ Khaled. Oh, Persimmon Comor, Umuntu ama penalty. Persimmon Comor. Oh, Henry Pollard, Umuntu ama penalty.
Mr. Kevin. You know, Mozo Shama penalty ganj. Yes, they all count, but you know, as a striker, you must be ashamed sometimes when you watch other strikers scoring in an open play. Make a good run, position yourself, then pen your core. So when I'm ulbege wena uye move asonke sime konke bebukumuntu onyakazayo ubuye ushaya ungene phakathi. Look, we can't take it away from him. That's also not an easy thing when I'm thinking ukuthi score a penalty and score the second one and score the third one. That's not, you know.
What does that say about the goalkeeper actually?
No, that's why it is not an easy thing because goalkeeper now is like straight. So keeper thought he will go to the other side. So the second one, now the keeper is not sure what's going to happen. So now himself, but I'll take a chance because it's not an easy thing because you don't know who to keep it in. Now we've got your own thinking with pressure on my side for the team, and you know where Kore's two, even the third one, he did the very same thing.
Open play so the third one they deprived him of scoring from open play. Muhammad Duhude was behind him. He was going towards goal, missing or scoring, but it's a one-on-one. He had a right there to either miss or score, but they never gave him the chance because Bavelebam Kapanja from behind, which was a good decision. Would be a red card and a penalty.
Mr. Gil, very good run. And it's not. I think even against Swallow City, the very same thing. Amaranzo ake, starter kuyafiyake, and then it goes and Masaka 10 at, then he beats defense of the opponents because one thing that I've seen Guye, that he's got that sprinting yana, he's got that quick fitting yana walk and I think it worked for him because it's rare to see a striker with that pace making that run from your half catch him straight ganj. It's not easy. We say our players that can do that. Normally, wing players that they can make those runs, but a central striker to make that run, I catch him straight. So it's not an easy thing. He makes good runs, and you know it works for him. To the penalty lapana, yes. Anything can happen.
What about the performance, Garefreso?
Mr. Gale,
all in the game.
Well, I will give him out of 10. I'll give him 7. He's a human being. You know, anybody can make a mistake because I believe a good thing. The penalty, the first penalty, it changed the complexion of the game because when you look at Stellenbosch, they were leading 1-0, and you could see it came a good team. Now they started to control the game, Stellenbosch. But with that penalty, change everything. And now we are born Chiefs now. Now they can pass each other. They can get to good areas with the ball. They can move off the ball. The good passes. And that's why I can give him 7 out of 10. He's a human being. He just made a mistake because that penalty changed the complexion of the game. And the rest, well, beside even that, Mr. Nkeo, to be really, really, really honest, Chiefs, they deserve to win today. I don't count a penalty in terms of the chances about creating from the first minute. Tipru scored. I mean, we have a chance to where I think he was supposed to score. So with that performance, it tells you Uguti really the Chiefs they are here today to work, and it works very well for them. And well done to Coach Arthur. Yeah. But I'm very disappointed with Coach Steve Parker, because that's not the team that we know. That's not the Stellenbosch that we saw last season.
Here's the interesting one. So just as we were talking about them, that in their back four, I know that Mohamed Tekhude was usually there, has been there, their captain who got the red card. But actually last season, it used to be a back five sometimes. On the right, it was Van Rooyen. On the left, Mark van Heerden. So left and right, Van Rooyen and Van Heerden. Centrally, it used to be Robin Johannes, Zita Kwenika, Ellen Robertson. Yes. That was the core of that team, however you frame it, in the middle and up front. Up front, Dingba, Mendieta, Dupree. But literally just talking about the back line alone, today we only saw Van Rooyen. They've lost all of those players that I've mentioned. Van Heerden went to Cape Town City. Ellen Robertson went overseas. I think Robin Johannes retired, if I'm not mistaken. Kwinika goes to Kaizer Chiefs. So there is a point where, and you usually say this as well, Uguti, ups and downs. You do something with a group, they give you something, they win a trophy, or they give you top 4, which they did, and then there is a recession where you have to rebuild again with younger players. I think that's where they are, because yes, we do respect to Coach Steve Parker, and there's a reason why he got his 3-year extension. But today, I agree with you, that was not the team, and that's why I'm mentioning the four players that they lost in the back line in the last 12 months.
Mr. Geo, what made him the 3 years is the last season's performance, because of that defense, the midfield, and the strikers. Look, there's nothing wrong, Mr. Ngoguti. You need to bring in the young ones, but you need to balance your team, because if you're gonna, like you did, I would say the whole back four out, and then you bring in new faces. I mean, this league, it's a tough league, Mr. K. It's a very tough league. You're playing against our Sundowns, you're playing against our Pirates, our Chiefs, our Cape Town City. It's very tough. So you need to make sure that when you want to make changes, adjust them. Maybe if you 2 they're out, you bring 2 in, but make sure that they need to understudy in these guys. You don't just put them in the deep end, because right now these guys, they couldn't swim. These boys, they couldn't swim today. You could see Amaranska to Prisa Lapana, like he was all over them. Utoli making those runs. Caleb Lapana Maranzwaki, the way he was holding the ball. It tells you, Mr. K. Uguti, these boys, they are not yet in that level. So I think for coach, obvious, I mean, I don't believe Uguti's got pressure of winning a league, winning all these trophies, but he's doing a very good job.
Right, there you go. That's a win for Kaizer Chiefs then. Caleb van de Caleb. Bimenyimana. He's called the Black Panther. 3 penalties, 3 goals. Perhaps it was a moment in history. You don't get to see players scoring a hat-trick from the penalty spot. Usually, the perfect hat-trick is the header, and then score with your right, and then score with your left. They call that a perfect penalty. I don't know what they call a penalty of 3 spot kicks. Maybe it's a penalty hat-trick. I don't know. Whatever they call that. It is iDiskiTV, Diski Times, World Sports Betting. Thank you for watching us.